There we go.
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Frozen in time, my friend.
What'd you say?
What's up, everyone?
Can you hear me?
We are live. We are live. We are live. Will, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can't hear me?
I can't hear you now.
Oh.
Take that. What's up, everyone? What's up? We are working out the bugs in the beginning. I'm going to be upfront. I am a little tipsy, so this might be a fun podcast.
Oh, my God, dude.
Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everyone can hear me. Hold on. Tim, what's up? How are you?
What up, man?
Can you guys hear me?
Maybe it's me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Tim,
hear
can
Will.
you hear me?
I can hear Will.
Does Marco hear either of us?
Supposedly.
Well, Marco did say he was drunk, so
You can hear everyone, but I can't hear them. That's the problem.
let's talk shit about Marco.
Go ahead.
I can't hear a word we're saying.
Someone say something. I
ta-
know
we're-
technical difficulties. My favorite part of the show.
We're talking about you. Don't worry, buddy. Everybody, I can hear everybody. Thank you, Jason. I can hear everyone. Excellent. Jason,
All right, hold on,
Mark,
hold on. Let me try something.
long delay. Yeah, sorry. Now you know why. Partially my fault. Something. Jason, very funny. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing all right, man.
No,
Doing all right. You know,
We got our win. We got our win under our belt.
Yeah, we act like we've been here before.
What?
We just try to act like we've been here before.
Yeah. Well, when's the last time we were here? Marco, can you hear us now?
Did that work?
I still hear you. Hear me? Marco's lost. Let's just do the show without him.
Yeah, it's fine.
Marco, buddy, I don't know what to do. First win of the year. You know what's funny to me, Tim, is that I don't know if we should just wait until Marco figures this out or just talk.
We'll just
anyway,
go into it.
Can you hear me?
Everybody can hear us, so it's just on Marco.
He is
Am
kind
I
of the
wrong?
host, but we hear you.
Oh, now I hear you.
I hear Marco.
Marco,
Okay.
everything's good now?
I don't know what happened.
All right, there we go.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
How are you?
This is why you don't drink before you get on.
You know, and this is why you don't drink. You shouldn't drink before you get off, if you know what I mean. But that leads to other things.
Sometimes drinking helps you get off. Sometimes not. I don't know.
It helps you want to. It doesn't always help you do it.
Yes, this is correct. Factually correct. Everyone, thank you. Thank you for sticking in.
Marco, I was saying to Tim, we got our win, and I'm hearing a lot of Giants fans saying, you know, we're 2 last-second field goals away from being 3-1. And I'm like, that's true, but we're also 1 overtime loss away from being 0-4. Okay, if we would have, you know, it was an overtime win we had. Saquon fumbled the ball, you know, into the stratosphere, bouncing around. New Orleans picks that up and comes down and kicks a field goal. We're looking at 0-4. So one thing I've learned with being a bad team now over the last few years, every year people say, well, if this game only this and if that game only that. I'm like, but at the end of the year, if for 3-4 years in a row you're winning 3, 4, 5 games, that's what separates the good teams and the bad teams. You tend to win more of those. But we won. It was the best game we've played so far. There's a lot of good things happening, and we got a big game against Big D. I want to know what you guys think if we have any kind of chance going on this weekend.
Tim, I'll let you. I haven't heard from you in, a year, so I'll let you start off, Tim.
Not a problem. So as far as having a chance, we absolutely have a chance. It's a rivalry game. We always have a chance. Doesn't make a difference what the records are when it comes to the rivalries. As long as it's really on the defense. If the defense can step up, I'm not expecting them to stop them every time because Dallas's offense is ridiculous. But as long as they can make a stop here and there, which they haven't done all year, so it's going to be let's hope they get back to what the defense was playing last year. If that happens, then we definitely have a chance to win.
Yeah,
Marco, what do you think, buddy?
I think this is going to be a difficult game for the Giants. If you want to beat Dallas, you're either going to have to hold them or score more than 30 points. Those are 2 things that are rare this year for the Giants.
I mean, the big
I
issue.
can't put the mojo out there because there's a price when it comes to Magic. So I can't hurt Dak again this year.
Yeah, can't do it 2 years in a row.
You know, I think it's going to be tough to beat Dallas. A big factor is Andrew Thomas, who's been a pleasant surprise this year. This is what I thought he was going to be. You know, he was my offensive tackle number 1, slightly ahead of Wirfs. He had a rough year last year, and I was doing all my homework on it. And I don't know if you guys are following me on Twitter, but putting out a lot of tweets about it, that he's got the best pass blocking grade of any tackle to come out of the draft in the last 3 years. You know, of any rookie, second-year player, or third-year player in football, best pass blocker, and his overall grade is better than anyone in the last 2 years. So he's been really good, but he hurt his foot. And It's the same foot that he banged up last year. He had surgery on. I know it kills me, but I almost just assume he's questionable, right? And they're thinking of putting Solder on the left and Pert at the right. I am almost just saying sit the guy out. He's too valuable. You most likely, maybe you could beat Dallas, but it's a tough game anyway. And I would just rather they rest him up. Given what sports are now, this is kind of my new thing because guys are so fragile. Sit him for the next week and then let him just be full, 100% hopefully for the rest of the season instead of just having this be a nagging thing. We saw what happened last year when he had a nagging thing. So that's very unfortunate, especially because they got Micah Parsons coming off the edge. And I'd hate to just have Jones get crushed on national TV and all this in Dallas. But I don't know if it's worth Thomas being injured and hobbled all year. I don't know what you guys think.
I saw him limping. I think it was Wednesday's practice or Thursday's practice. It looked like a significant limp actually coming.
Yeah, he's questionable. I think they might try to give him a few plays and see how he feels, but it's just so unfortunate, man, because he's been doing real well.
Yeah,
I agree with Will. Let him heal up, but then on the other side, I'm thinking it's Dallas.
Yeah,
because we win this game, we're right in the season, and it's going to be good to go. And granted, we have the Rams the next week, so that's not going to be fun either. But
I know what you mean, Tim. Like it's a division game, so if he's going to be hobbled regardless or whatever, put him in this one. I don't know how effective. Is a hobbled Thomas going to be better than a full, full strength Solder? Maybe based on some of the film I just got done watching from last week's game. But I don't know. It's going to be an uphill battle. I'm not counting on them winning. I think, Marco, what you said about having to, or one of the, actually, you both might have kind of touched on it, that the defense is going to have to hold them, to under 30 and or we're going to have to score over 30. And I'm not confident that we'll be able to do either of those things. It could happen. Like Tim said, rivalry, the teams know each other. Giants always tend to play well in Dallas. I feel like the offense usually shows up in Dallas. I still think of a lot of, this is unrelated, I guess, but Eli's had a lot of great games there. JPP came out, his coming out party was there. A lot of guys have had huge games against Dallas. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not counting on it. I'll have my official prediction tomorrow, by the way. You guys want to throw predictions out right now?
No. Let me feel this podcast. Let me take what you guys are thinking, and then I'll make my decision.
Daniel Jones is usually better on the road for whatever reason. And honestly, I think we should do the same thing we did against Washington. Do a lot more RPOs because we didn't really do that many last game. And get Jones running, get him out of the pocket, and honestly, get the ball to the playmakers. The one nice thing with Shepard and Slayton being hurt, it forces them to use Tony. And you see what Tony can do when he gets the ball in his hands. So that's another weapon that Garrett's getting forced to use.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, it looks like Barkley might be back, healthy-wise.
I still don't think he's there.
He's much closer than he was week 1 and week 2. You can see a difference.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think there's still some rust to knock off.
Yeah, there is. I had a conversation on Twitter today with somebody who said the Giants are getting better every week. And I said, I don't think they got better. I think they got better from week 1 to week 2. I think they regressed to week 2 to week 3. I mean, they put up a disaster. They put up 14 points against an Atlanta team that is otherwise winless and has given up 32, 34, and 48 in their other 3 games. The Giants at home put up 14 points. So that was not good. But yeah, this last weekend, I watched the tape because I'm a nerd. And just here's my really brief synopsis of what I saw with the last game. The offense looked more open, more aggressive, not perfect, not there, and we're not talking what the Chiefs do, but it was definitely different, which I liked. All the wide receivers came to play. I mean, Ross, had a couple of, even besides the long touchdown, he had a couple of other nice ones. Galladay was there, like you talked about, Tim, Tony, all the wideouts, even, I keep forgetting his name, Colin. Is it Colin Johnson?
Johnson.
Yeah, man. I liked him out of college. He's been stepping up. Like you said, in the absence of these other guys, no offense, I don't mind if I don't see Slayton anymore. I would rather just see these other guys, although it's tough because Tony and and Shepard pretty much play the same position. So what are you going to do about an outside guy? But these guys rotate so much in and nowadays. Garrett got Saquon in some space, which I liked. DJ played well. Solid pass blocking and less flags. Those were the positives. On the negative side, the offensive line has to handle stunts better. They didn't do a good job against that, and Dallas does that. And Marco, I know I have a clip for you. The run blocking is still not there. I know we talk about it, Saquon pussyfooting around, but I watched a lot of his runs. When there's a hole, he hits the hole. There aren't a lot of holes for the guy. They don't get any push. And then the defense, I know they only gave up 20, they gave up 21 points, right, to the Saints. But, man, it looks ugly, man. It looks like they're getting run through on the line. They're missing tackles, and they get beat deep way too often, and they still bring no pressure. So the defense just looks off, man. I
agree with you because what it seems like this year, it seemed like last year we had more aggression when it comes to defense. Now it seems like we're playing that bend don't break defense, which is garbage because it's just going to come down to they're going to get points that way. Where you're giving too much yards, people are going to get tired. They're going to end up scoring. They're going to see flaws.
Yeah, I remember first podcast of the year. I was like, listen, the one thing I'm not worried about is the Giants defense. Now here we are, week 4. And the one thing that I'm really worried about, the Giants defense. So
yeah,
they're not manufacturing a pass rush naturally. Last year, see, Graham has never blitzed as far as I know. He's never been a big bring pressure guy. But last year, the Giants were able to manufacture some pressure with their interior defensive linemen, with Leo. Maybe that contract year just means enough where these guys really start coming a little hard. I don't know what it is, but this year it's like, and the coverage was a little bit better last year too. Although I think Jackson's doing a real nice job. I think Bradbury's obviously struggling, but I think that's the thing is if you're not going to get natural pressure, you've got to bring more guys. And a couple times they beautiful blitz they ran against Jameis Winston, and he threw the ball right in the ground. The week before that, they did it late against the Falcons, and it worked nice. I mean, they can do it when they want to, but Graham really just loves. We're going to bring 3 and put everybody else back there. We're going to drop a lineman in the defensive backfield and mess up your mind. Well, if you give any quarterback enough time, he's going to find somebody. You know what I mean?
You know what I have noticed about Graham though? They start off slower, and as the year goes on, they progress and get better. Same thing in Miami. They were like, "Oh, this defense, they're young, they're learning, and they only get better later on in the year." I think that might be what we're seeing. It's just the Giants can't afford time.
I agree with that, Marco, too. I agree with that, too. Well, we don't have preseason like we used to. They don't play like that. So it gives them. You have to give them like a month to start figuring it out. Well, that excuse is done now.
Yeah,
they're in.
Yeah.
So it's what you got. Let's see what you can use because we should be able to blitz because on paper our secondary looks good. It's just not playing up to what it should be playing to. And like for instance, like where's McKinney? McKinney's not doing even close to what he was expected to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, can you tell if a safety's not producing or if you haven't heard his name, is that a good thing? Because he's not getting thrown over. I mean, he doesn't have any picks, I don't think, but I don't know. It seems like Bradbury's getting beat. I don't know about other guys, to be honest.
With safeties, you should at least hear their names on tackles.
Right.
But point-wise, they're not it's not like they're getting blown out.
No, and I think their defense is pretty much middle of the pack at this point. Even though it just seems worse, it's frustrating to watch sometimes. But I kind of feel bad going to the tape here, Marco, because I didn't know we had Tim here. I don't want to take away his FaceTime, but
Tim loves tape.
I had a few things I wanted to mention. We're talking about the defense, so I'll say that you want to put up the video with the defense, Marco?
The secondary?
Yeah, the secondary one, where they're just this is kind of what we're talking about here. This is 2 plays in a row against the Saints where they got beat essentially for deep touchdowns but they got lucky both times, and it didn't actually end up counting. But very little rush, and people just getting beat. So you can go ahead and play it. This is the first one. This gets called back for a hold. But this is just awful. We got a little bit of a robot scenario here, but hopefully people can kind of tell what's going on. So that can't happen. And then on the very next play, because that got called back, this is where they had the other QB in who makes a terrible pass. But if you see on the replay, this receiver had inside. And if that ball is thrown to the inside, that's a touchdown. That's 2 plays in a row that they gave up basically a 50-yard touchdown. And I'm just like, how does that happen to you twice? So that stuff's been happening to them more and more. And I don't know. You got to clean that up. And I know someone here was talking about they got to bring in a pass rusher and get an edge in the draft. Chris Moran saying that. And I think Ojulari will develop into something nice. It might take him a little time. He had a good first 3 weeks. But I don't know. I feel like they got to change something up. Or maybe we just got spoiled because last year's D was so good.
I think they have to bring in the pass rusher eventually, either free agency or through the draft, probably both. But we weren't spoiled last year. We were spoiled the years prior when we had defensive ends multiple guys coming at you.
Yeah. Oh God, wasn't it the
Every
best?
down.
Is there anything better than having a sick pass rush and it's like 3rd and 8 and like Romo was back there and you would see Strahan and OC and Tuck just like a freaking jailbreak coming at him? Oh, that was the best, dude.
The problem now, I used to be excited for third downs. Now, third downs, I'm sweating it out. Be like, please just don't give up the third down.
Yeah,
you can be 3rd and 15 and be like, please just don't give it up.
I know. Marco, all the videos going to be choppy like that? We're thinking that's just the way it happens.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
All right, so I don't know if the rest of them are going to be. I don't know how good the film study is going to be here. I was going to mention. One issue, Daniel Jones has been playing really well, but actually, no. Let's go to the Kadarius Toney one, okay? One of my biggest issues, Tim, with Jason Garrett is that whenever a guy has a big play, he immediately goes back to him on the next play. When he's tired, don't hit play just yet. When he's tired and when the other team is keying on him. So here is, all right, you could play it. This is Toney, who had a really nice game, and I'm excited about. He's going to look even choppier here than he normally does. He has this huge run. I mean, this basically is what he looked like, even if it wasn't doing the robot with the choppiness. He had this huge play. He's dodging guys. He's doing this, and that. So he's clearly winded. So let's pitch him the ball and have him try to throw it, and then he can't throw it. This is the next play. So now he's running and dodging, and he gets laid out. He's now exhausted, but Garrett's like, oh, Toney's good. Let's throw to him the next play. He drops the ball, and then he just takes himself out of the game because he's so exhausted. He puts his hand up, and he's on the sideline hunched over. Jason Garrett always does this. Whenever Saquon runs for like 60 yards, I mean, it hasn't happened this year. Next play, he's like, let's run it to Saquon again. Let's give him a screen pass. I'm like, dude, just give him one playoff.
Do you think he's in his head? He's probably thinking, you know what they're not expecting right now? Kadarius Toney.
Toney, if I'm telling you, they threw to him. He dropped a pass, and then he's just like this. And he's just like this, and he's on the sideline, and he's like heaving, which shouldn't be after a couple of big plays. Marco just bouncing out, dude. There he is. He's coming back. So that was my other film study. I have a couple more, but I don't know. I don't want to necessarily bore you guys, and I don't know if the.
I think they look.
Oh, it's fine. It's cool.
Decent.
Look okay. My only issue with Jones really lately, since the beginning, I've said that he stares his targets down too much. There was a play, and he's been playing very well, so I'm nitpicking at this point. I'm happy with Daniel Jones. People said it was his best game ever. I think he's had some better games with the Giants, but don't hit play just yet. Here's 2 plays in a row. He makes a nice play here, a nice pass to Rudolph, gets him down to the 4-yard line, but he didn't realize that Ross was naked in the end zone not too far away, and he makes a nice pass. It's a good play, but they end up not scoring. And then on the 3rd down and goal play, he stares down Rudolph again and just throws the ball to him, even though it's almost intercepted. A beef that I have with Jones, one more thing I'd like him to clean up because he's been playing very, very well, is that I think before the snap, he says, I'm going to throw to this guy. He eyes him up. And then if it's not there, after a couple seconds, he moves on instead of I think he should be quicker to scan the field potentially. So you could hit play. It's a nice play. It's a good ball. He throws a very good ball. So this is going to go down to Rudolph down there, and that's nice. But if you look at the replay and you watch Ross, which is going to be an arrow, he's naked, and that's a referee up top. That's not a saint. He's completely naked. Now again, so Jones actually throws to the side where the safety is shading. And so then on the third down and goal play, again, he just looks at Rudolph, two guys there. It's almost intercepted. You can't throw this pass in that situation. You got to look elsewhere. You got to tuck it or you got to throw it away because that could have been picked. So that's the only part of Jones's game that I think I would still like him. One of the only parts I'd like him to clean up is I think he's got to have maybe better vision and not to be so stubborn when it comes to there's my guy, I'm throwing to my guy. But overall, Tim, I mean, you've been happy, I'm sure, with how Jones has looked this year.
I've always liked Jones. The fumbles drove me crazy. The interceptions, I can care less about the interceptions. That's going to happen with especially young quarterbacks.
Okay,
that's a liberal. I'm not saying that, throw as many picks as you want, but I'm saying that's going to happen with the young guys, and I'd rather have them taking risks.
Okay,
but as far as the fumbles, that used to drive me insane. But I like the way he's going. And I'm going to say something the Giants fans are probably not going to like.
Oh, boy.
Believe it or not, I think Jason Garrett is doing a good job with Daniel Jones.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, first of all, Garrett has proven that he knows how to coach up quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Romo, Dak Prescott, guys of that nature. And he's got a second year with him. Daniel Jones actually had his second year with the system.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's looking better, and I think Garrett might have coached up and coached the turnovers out of him. That's what I meant to say.
I just think the turnovers are a result of him not getting hit anymore. I think if he were still getting hit like he was last year, he'd be turning it over maybe just as much. This year, he's just. I think it's probably still proportionate, him getting hit to him fumbling. He just hardly is getting hit this year, which is a great thing. But I'm going to say it's mostly we don't know yet if it's the offensive line because the last 2 years, there were 2-3 plays every game where Jones would be standing there and you would just see a DN about to hit him. He doesn't know it because the offensive line just completely broke down and he'd fumble. We haven't really seen that this year. Those plays where it's like, oh my God, here they come. So I don't know if I'm ready to say that Jones isn't going to fumble anymore. That it's just it might be that he's just not getting hit as much. Marco, what do you think?
I don't know. I saw 2 games where I felt that Daniel Jones was being held back and didn't look as sharp as the other 2 games. And the 2 games that he looked sharp in, he gets PFF Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sal, what quarterback wants to get hit? None of them want to get hit, but I'm just saying he's fumbling less this year. And I just don't know if it's because he's holding the ball better or if it's because he's just not taking as many hits is all I'm trying to say.
I think he's playing anxious that I have to make they need me. I have to make a play. He's trying to extend plays, and that's where the fumble's coming. He should be sliding on a lot more of them, but he's curtailed that down a little bit this year. He only has the one that we lost, but
right.
Do you think the scenarios are factoring into the fact because he didn't play open until they were down to New Orleans? Then it was like it was on. I'll do whatever I got to do to score. Garrett was like just let the handcuffs off, and then in the other games, same thing. Like especially in the beginning of the year, it was like I was more scared to do a turnover than try to score.
It was so weird watching the game back because they had 2 one-play 50-yard touchdowns essentially. The deep one to Ross, that was the first play of the drive. Deep to Ross, touchdown. Sucks for Jones. It didn't count as a touchdown for him. Then they had the 1-play drive to Saquon, which was maybe a 40-yard play or something like that. And then in overtime, they moved the ball down the field. I mean, they had a penalty here or there, but guys were just open. And as I said, the receivers came to play, and maybe Jason Garrett too. I think the Saints defense week 1, I think held the Packers to like 3 points. Am I remembering that correctly or something nuts? I think the defense could do some things.
And the Giants were like, and Davante Adams.
The Giants moved the ball in the fourth quarter and in overtime. very easily. And I think one of you guys touched on it, and I believe this too. Tony is really good. One of the biggest plays of the game, because people might forget about this. First 2 Giants possessions didn't get past their own 20. Yep. Their third possession didn't get past the 20. It was 3rd and 18 from their own 19. About to do their third straight possession without getting past their own 20. Jones throws a 1-yard pass to Tony, and Tony just weaves and, bobs and weaves and jukes his way to a first down. It was actually a yard short. I couldn't believe they gave it to him and no one challenged. But that one play completely changed the complexion of the game. So,
well, you guys think this? I'm going off of what you're saying, Will.
Yeah.
Is the wide receiver chemistry is better with the guys they have right now, because you have the big possession receiver in Galladay.
Right.
You have the speedster in John Ross.
Right.
And then you got the Tony in the slot who can just do whatever.
Yeah. It's tough.
And that where Shepard can do sort of the same things Tony can, but not on that level as far as with the ball in his hands.
But right. Shepard is a solid.
Shepard's got great hands. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
Shepard's a man. And granted, Slayton, I wish would come back to what he played his rookie year. So all it takes is one catch, and that would have been a win. But whatever. Yeah.
I just feel like,
John Ross gives that speed they get scared of. Slayton has speed, but he doesn't have the speed that he gets scared of.
And Ross had a couple of more nice catches in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and a couple of them, because of his speed, these guys are playing so far off him that he was able to do like a 15-yard button hook. You know what I mean? Instead of like a 5-yarder. But I think Galladay is definitely there. I don't think Tony can be coming off the field too much. Shepard, we all love. He works hard. He's good. He's still kind of in his prime. He's got good hands. You can count on him. If he's healthy, I prefer Ross to Slayton. I've always just been like, okay, Slayton's just kind of a guy. Ross, I think potentially, I know it's one game. I don't want to overreact, but my instinct is to say Galladay, Ross, and then split time if you want, or whatever you're going to do. Sometimes you have 4 receivers with Tony and with Shepard. They're kind of a similar guy, but I'm sorry, Slayton, but the Giants have a lot of receivers who can do a lot of things. If they all stay healthy, it's a problem you have. Colin Johnson won't even see the field, but it is what it is. So,
Colin Johnson's a good substitute for Galladay.
I like
he's another big receiver, and if Galladay needs a breather, you put Johnson in, you don't lose a whole lot.
Yeah, and I like what you said. It's true. The chemistry, they're 3 different kinds of guys. The straight speed guy, the big target guy, and the quick human joystick guy. I mean, it worked. I'd still give Shep a chance to get back in, but obviously he's going to be a starter and a captain and all that. Like, I would still play him, and maybe they could rotate some of those guys, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't worry about Slayton and Johnson at this point, to be honest. I liked what I saw.
Well, this thing with Slayton, the defensive guy looks across the thing. He's I might be able to stick with it. John Ross, they know they can't stick with, so they give him that cushion, which opens up everybody else as well because of that huge cushion they're given. And we're not even putting in the fact that hopefully Evan Ingram gets into a form. Well, I understand, but let's say Caden Smith. Kyle Rudolph, I think, is showing his age. I think he's a little slow.
Rudolph, I mean, he's not. He's just, every time they give him the ball, he's just slow as anything. Oh my God. But
he was such a beast in Minnesota, man.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing about Jones, because someone said here, Giant Opinion Sports is saying Jones is looking at the pass rush. Another thing I don't love about Jones is, and by the way, I want to say this positive. He's very accurate. I mean, when guys are open and he has a little time, which I've been saying since he got here, he makes the passes right on the money, puts a pretty good zip on the ball. I think he throws a better ball than Eli did, which isn't saying much. I mean, we all love Eli, and he was clutch and he won and everything, but he was throwing ducks, he was throwing over Plax's head, who's 10 feet tall. I mean, you never knew where the ball was going to go. Jones is like right on the money, but whenever he goes to make a pass like over 10 yards, I've never seen a quarterback step into it so much. He takes like 2 full shuffle steps and throws, and a lot of times he ends up incurring a hit because he stepped into the hit, like on the Slayton wide open drop against Washington, which I think was more Jones's fault, because if you're that open, just see him and just lob it in the air. But whatever, he stepped into pressure. He does like this double shuffle thing and steps into hits sometimes, which is just kind of weird. But again, I'm not going to get on Jones. He's been very good. Tim is going to the studio now. Look at Tim.
Tim is getting a little sexy over there, Tim. Huh?
I'm trying to,
pillow talk.
Yeah.
The Marco, you want to throw up that other video that I have one more video that I put up, or did we do 3, or we have one more?
Yeah, we have 2 more, I believe.
What are the 2 we have?
We have offensive line twists.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you Tim, do you want to see the positive or the negative first?
Let's go with the negative. I'm used to.
All right.
Used to playing with Captain Negative.
As well as the offensive line is playing in the pass protection game. One thing they're having trouble with, especially on the right side, is twists. Just the stuff you learn to block when you're in high school. The D tackle and the D end decide they're gonna twist off of each other. So this is 2 different plays that I spliced together. One's a 3rd and 9. On the first one, you're going to see I think it's kind of the right side of the Giants line. They run a twist, and it's going to hit. They're going to hit Jones so quickly and so much that he's going to have to throw here. It's kind of maybe run this whole thing back, but he ends up having to throw a 0-yard pass on 3rd and 9. And this one, then, are you going to pull that back? Okay. You just pull it back to the beginning and hit play. There we go. So again, it's a late twist, and then Jones has to get rid of this pass. So that offensive lineman not picking it up cost them a potential first down. And then later in the game, I think this is the 4th quarter. Oh, that was the 4th quarter. Okay, go ahead. It happens again, and Jones gets crushed right up the middle. This is with 42 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. They run a simple twist, and again, right up the middle, it gets through, and Jones has to get rid of the ball. I mean, this could cost you a game, and it's not that difficult. Go ahead, Marco. It's not that difficult to stop.
Right there. See? Whoop.
So that's frustrating to me. I don't understand. And they've been really good, the offensive line, but that's one thing. And unfortunately, according to Andrew Thomas, when he was scouting the Cowboys, he's like, they run a lot of twists. And I'm like, oh, no. So that's the negative.
They definitely do, but other than Parsons,
right?
I'm not really worried about the Dallas defense like that. Well, and take that back, and Trevon Diggs. I'm curious if Diggs is going to follow Galladay around. But as far as that defense, they can score on that defense. It's that deep, but our defense has to stop somebody.
Yeah.
Or
they need big plays, man. Have we like forced a lot of turn? I mean, it comes down to pressure, man. You got to pressure the QB. I love Sal White, by the way. I told you we were going to win 8 games. Yes, that's been decided. We are now winning 8 games this year based on 1 overtime win. And we could.
Yeah. You know what? I love Giants Twitter because it's such extremes. If we lose, oh my God, everybody wants to burn everything down. Get rid of everybody. We win, it's a whole nother. It's like we're on drugs.
It's Super Bowl or first pick in the draft.
I'm a little nervous with this game. If they win this game, people are going to have them going divisions definitely in their pocket now.
Wait, you're nervous? What if the Giants win? What are we going to say? I don't give a crap. I'll take a win.
I'll figure it out.
I think people are going to go insane just for the letdown. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
The problem is the media is going to get on. If we beat Dallas, all of a sudden media is going to love the Giants again.
And you know what? If we beat Dallas,
I like it when we're underdogs.
If we beat Dallas, then I think there's reason. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up here about this. We beat Dallas. I think there's reason to be excited. If they went into New Orleans and won, and went into Dallas and won, I'd be feeling pretty good about that. And I'll tell you, I was happy, like I said, with the wide receivers. They all came to play, and we'll do the last clip here, Marco. This is Galladay arguably the biggest play of the game. It was the fourth quarter. Giants had to score at least a field goal to tie it up. And it was, I think we'll check the situation. I think it was about a 3rd and 7. So if you don't get this, you're in a world of hurt. And you want a guy, Tim and Marco, and you want a guy that you can depend on. You bring a guy in to be that guy. Bottom of the screen, yes, 3rd and 7, 58 seconds left, down by 3. If this thing doesn't get off the bottom of the screen, you might not even see it. But slant, catches it, spins, runs, gets him not just the first down, but well within field goal range. I might not mind watching that again, Marco, because it makes me feel good. But this is what you want. You want to be able to say, game on the line. What are we going to do? Just throw it to your dude. And then look what he does after the catch. And that set him up for the field goal, and that set him up for the win. So that was really nice. They all came ready to play. The only thing I didn't love about that, guys, Galladay asked for a breather. He calls himself out of the game for a play with 47 seconds left, game on the line, and the Giants called a timeout after that play. And I'm just like really? I mean, I don't know, maybe I can't think. He was in the game the play after that, but how can you as a professional athlete, you're in shape, you're in your 20s, football, if you've ever been to a game, they're standing around half the game anyway. How could you pull yourself out after one play when the game is on the line? I'll never forget Justin Tuck pulling himself out of the last play of the second Super Bowl against the Patriots just for a breather, running off the field because he just had to get off the field because he needed to catch his win. I'm like, really? One play left in the Super Bowl? But other than that, I was happy with Galladay there. We got to get him a touchdown, though, by the way. I don't think he has a touchdown yet. And you can tell when guys are celebrating touchdowns, he's kind of just like, all right, or he'll kind of walk off. I think he wants to be the dog. He wants that touchdown. So I think it's important that we get Galladay his first touchdown to make him happy. I don't think it's going to be an Odell situation, but we got to make sure that we keep him happy. So,
I agree. You can tell he's coming into his own, though. He's starting to work his way into the offense. That's good. You get these guys the ball. With bringing all these playmakers in, just get them the ball. Don't any way possible. Just one thing I was gonna say was shit. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
you guys go ahead. Well, it'll come back.
Marco, what do you got, buddy?
I think I'm going back to the receivers because we seem to be talking about them. That might be the strength of our team. I don't see where Slayton fits in if everyone's staying healthy. I would trade him.
Yeah, I don't. Actually, fortunately, because it's a good problem to have. Galladay is a top guy. Shepard is just real solid. Been there. He's got a good role. Tony can do things that none of the other guys can do. We're seeing that. And if it comes down to just what's up,
this comment, you know what you got to do, Tim.
What's it? I can't even see it.
Says,
what did it say?
Giants Opinion Sports. Dallas is a one-trick pony, and Tim will do the right thing about that.
All right, you know what? No. Let me put the voodoo out there. I don't think it's gonna be Dak. I don't feel the injury for Dak coming this week.
No, all right.
This is who I think it's gonna be, though. Zeke goes down.
That's a prediction. Zeke, huh?
Zeke is going down. I can't do that to Dak 2 years in a row. I don't think he can come back from.
So,
but put the voodoo on. Putting the voodoo on Zeke, even though Pollard's probably better anyway.
You don't have to go full force. You could go like sore toe, can't play the rest of the game, comes back next week. You could do that. I think Zeke is hurting his knee. That's what I'm feeling. I'm not hoping it. That's what I'm feeling. Great.
The magic comes to me. I don't force the magic.
The number 2 running back who's getting paid like a number 1 running back goes down. Great.
Nah, dude. Zeke is as good as anybody in football, man. Running back wise, Zeke is good.
Let me know when you want to talk to me. Sal, you want to jump on, huh? Hold on.
If it just comes down to having a fast wide receiver, I don't know. I mean, Ross is a little faster. They seem to work well. I don't know how. I don't know if he's going to hold
you
up.
had two receivers go down. I don't think we can afford to trade Slayton.
You know,
if Ross or Tony goes down, what do we have? Colin Johnson and CJ Board.
Giant Opinion Sports wants Mike McCarthy to choke on a hot dog. Maybe that's the hex you could put, is what he's trying to say.
That wouldn't do much.
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything.
But anyway, I'm not gonna hop. I'm gonna hop soon, fellas. I just wanted to I wanted to wrap up a little bit of the New Orleans game. We got a win finally. Congrats to everybody out there. And I wanted to kind of get some thoughts on Giants versus Dallas. It's always, it's always tough because it's so damn nerve-wracking. It's always a night game or a 4:25 game. So if it ends, you kind of just like it's right there all night. You can't get over it like a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, that puts a taste in your mouth.
Well, you want to do you don't want to do predictions? Marco, you had a chance to synthesize a little bit.
I'll do predictions. I don't want to do it though, but I'll do it.
I'll get the ball rolling.
Marco and shitting on him.
I'll get the ball rolling because my pick is not official until I tweet it before the game. So this is always my preliminary.
Here we go. 17 versions.
This is my unofficial pick. I was wrong last week. I had it 31-20 New Orleans. So I was wrong last week. But although I'm always close with how many points the Giants are going to score. Because in regular time, they had 21 points. So you can't count on overtime. I'm going to go 34 for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Giants, what's up?
I'm writing it down. Go ahead.
And for the Giants, I'm going to go, I'll stick with what I said last week. I'll go 20 for the Giants.
Ooh, okay.
But that's subject to change.
Timmy, what do you got, Timmy?
Tim, what do you got? Giants 52.
I need the Giants to win because I'm going to the Rams game. So I'm going to be in New York. So I'm going to be all pissed off if they lose to Dallas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking it's going to be obviously a close game. It's a rivalry game. 28-27 Giants. Last second field goal.
Love it.
Last second field goal win.
How are you going to get the last second field goal to hit 28? That means they'd have to have 25 before that. That's kind of a weird number. But okay, I'm not going to.
Hey,
you never know.
Whatever,
you never know.
Weird things happen.
Safeties throw in there, and that's missed.
You're gonna mess with math. I'm not worried about math.
Leave it up to them.
And how I get to those numbers.
Yeah, Tim's like 2-1 last second touchdown.
All right, so
Giants take it in a defensive struggle, 1-0 on a last second field goal. I like it, Tim. I like it. 28-27. I like it.
What I want to say, I think the Giants are going to win 30-27.
30. Ooh, all right.
What I think will happen.
That would probably be a last second field goal.
30-27.
So you think it's 30-27 either way?
Yeah, I'll go 30-27. You could put those points, bet those points, everyone, okay?
I like how you're saying
just
what I want.
The direction.
I like how you're saying what I want to happen versus what I think, and what you want is just a 3-point win. What I want to happen is 58-0. What I think is going to happen.
I want to be.
I honestly do have a big feeling that Giants are gonna. It's going to be a huge game for them. I'm hoping it pulls out into a win. I think they're going to play Dallas like stupid tough. That Troy Aikman comment, I think, was a bigger deal than people think it was.
Do you think? I don't know.
If Andrew Thomas can't go,
how many
the
Giants players now know Andrew Thomas? No Troy Aikman. So why do I have Andrew Thomas on there?
Nah, they do. I mean, Aikman played. I mean, our age, my age, they know who he is, and he's an announcer, so they all know that. But I just feel like if Thomas doesn't go, which I doubt he's going to go, or if he's hobbled, if you're looking at Solder and Pert, I mean, Pert is so bad in the Giants' eyes that they went to move this guy who's genetically born to be an offensive tackle. They went to move him to guard because he was so bad at tackle, and from what they're seeing. So if your tackles are Pert and Solder, I just think the the rock of the team. The reason they're doing okay is the passing game, the receivers, which is because Jones is throwing them the ball well, which is because Jones is protected on his blind side. So it kind of all starts with Thomas. Once that domino falls, if Jones doesn't have time, Jones can't throw the ball, the offense isn't going to work. I'm just very nervous about that. So, but we'll see. We all have Dallas.
The one nice thing is we don't have to worry about Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Right, right.
That's good because at least if it's only Parsons, that's one guy.
Yeah. And don't forget defensively for the Giants. I mean, we're without arguably our best defensive player, arguably in Blake Martinez for the rest of the year. I mean, he was the leader, the captain. I mean, him, Leo, and Bradbury last year. This year, he's good.
Do you guys want Jalen Smith?
I'll take whoever. Honestly, I don't care. Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, he went to the Packers anyway. But did you guys want Jalen Smith when he got released?
I didn't realize he had already gone to the Packers.
Yeah, he's already signed to the Packers.
Yeah, I would have taken either.
But
I would have taken Gilmore. I would have taken. Don't matter to me. We need talent.
Yeah,
we need talent to win.
So that's tough. I mean, because
we got Ty Crowder.
Martinez is.
We do, Tim. We do.
Martinez has more tackles than anybody in the NFL, I think, over the past 4 seasons. I mean, he's basically a Pro Bowl caliber guy, right at that level, and you lose that in the middle of your defense. I mean, that's huge. You don't recover from that so easily. So, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the game goes. I think Dallas is pretty good. So be nice to beat him though. Oh, and nothing sweeter than beating Dallas. Am I right, boys?
Nah.
Absolutely.
So
we beat Dallas. We go to 2-3. We go home against the Rams. Probably not gonna be a good game for us, but whatever.
Maybe I'm odd man out on this one, but I hate Philly so bad. I'd rather beat Philly than Dallas.
I'd rather beat
my
Dallas.
Rivalry pecking order, it's Philly than Dallas than Washington.
I have way too many friends that are Dallas fans, and I hear too much shit from them.
Oh yeah.
So their Dallas fans are everywhere.
Yeah, the problem is, in my opinion, the Eagles have given the Giants more trouble in our lifetime than any team. Much more than Dallas. Eagles have been.
I remember the Randall Cunningham years, so I totally understand that.
The Eagles have, and even Brian Mitchell and all these guys. Remember Eli in his career was like 2-18 or some crap against them in his last 20 games. Like the Eagles have always beaten us. Dallas, it's pretty much been like a 50-50 in our lifetime, and the Giants always beat Washington. It's like the Yankees always beating like the Twins. I know not this year, but like in general over the past 2 decades. So, but Eagles fans aren't they haven't really won much, and they know they haven't really won much. And so I don't see the ego coming from the Eagles as much. Dallas, they walk around like they're, the Yankees. So even the Yankees have only won one in the last however many years, but Dallas hasn't been to an NFC championship game in over 25 years. And they walk around thinking people care about them, which that's the only reason people care about them, because they act like people care about them. That's the reason Dallas is the worst.
Did you see the
greatest thing of all time.
Did you see the videos that the Giants put out? They asked all of the younger guys stuff from the
old stuff,
90s.
yeah.
And they showed a VHS tape and someone memed it and put Dallas's last Super Bowl win. So Darius Tony's holding it up. It has VHS says Dallas. It was hysterical.
That's good. I like that.
An excellent meme. Whoever made that one up.
Let's keep it up, man. Let's hope that continues for a long time. I'm gonna get out of here, boys.
All right,
fellas. Good talking to you. Thanks everybody for listening. Go Giants. Let's get a win, okay?
All right, Willie. Talk to you later.
All right, guys. Later.
Tim, I'm gonna get out too, unless you have something you absolutely want to tell me.
I'm good. I put my voodoo on Zeke, and now that magic's gonna come again. That magic's gonna come against me now. So you're welcome, Giants fans.
That's how it goes. All right, everyone. Thank you for this impromptu. Everyone jumping in, and we will talk to you probably later on in the week. Peace out, everyone.